Hey, welcome back to the video. This is a paid request from Bart. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Usually the best way to do it. I do have a Cash App as well, just people have asked about that. Links are down below in the info box, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. So Bart wanted me to react to his list, which is on Letterboxd, under Honest Abe Reviews, of his top 50 favorite films of all time. Now, 50 is a lot of movies to get through. I would say if you want me to react to a list like that, either a little bit more money, or B, maybe like a top 10 or maybe 15, but 50 is a lot. So again, either a little bit more money or a little less of a list, but I'll do it this time. But because it's 50 movies, I can't really go that in depth because it would take me like 2 hours just to get through it, at least. So I'll do what I can. But again, I'm fine with these type of things, reacting to someone's list. I mean, great, it doesn't matter what the fuck I say, because you like whatever you want, and everyone's list is going to be different. Hell, it may be different with the man in the mirror, because times change, your mind changes on stuff, you rearrange stuff. But this is Bart's Honest Abe Reviews list. So, here we go. And I figured I would do it this way because there is a letterbox, so it's something to show physically, to show you instead of just my face. So why not just do it this way? So number 50 as Wall Street. Never been a big fan of Wall Street. Michael Douglas does a good job as Gordon Gekko. Greed is good. Memorable bit. But I think just the backdrop of Wall Street never intrigued me, never interested me. As soon as I think about Wall Street and what they do with that job, it just makes me just fall asleep. So, I mean, for those who like it, that's cool. Michael Douglas does do a good job. Charlie Sheen is fine, but it's just the subject matter just doesn't do a whole lot for me. Home Alone, love that film. It's a classic. I think especially Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are great. They're hilarious together. They have fantastic chemistry. And Macaulay Culkin did a good job. I mean, this is one of those films that was a surprise hit. No one thought it'd be this big of a hit. But definitely a good film to watch for the Christmas season. And Macaulay Culkin was a talented child actor, and he showed it in this. So, definitely a fun movie. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Honestly, one of the only Robin Hood films I like, other than maybe the Disney one, but it is my favorite Robin Hood film. Yes, I know Kevin Costner's accent disappears from time to time, but you got Alan Rickman as the villain. Going to cut his heart out with a spoon. But why a spoon? Because I'll hurt more. But you got Michael Wincott also as the villain. You got Christian Slater. You got Morgan Freeman. Love the music, which became, what was the company that used that music? There was a film company that used that music. I forget, it was on the tip of my tongue too. Not Gramercy, but it was. Damn it! Like if I saw it, I would. If I saw the name, I knew it. But yeah, anyway, Morgan Treat Entertainment. When they started releasing films, they would use the music from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Morgan Treat Entertainment, beautiful score, and it's fun. It's got some badass moments with the arrows. It's a great villain. Big hit at the time. I love Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. Pulp Fiction is a classic. What more can be said? Understandable why it's on the list. One of Tarantino's best films. Starman, great love story. Jeff Bridges, love Karen Allen. I know Jeff Bridges was nominated for an Oscar. Show that John Carpenter do a love story. And I know he did this after The Thing. Because people thought, oh, he can only, he can only do gore and stuff. It's like, no, he could do a lot more. It wasn't right after The Thing because that was Christine, but I think it was after Christine. Was this 84? Yeah. But show that he could do more. It was like, okay, you want your E.T.? Here's E.T. A nice alien. But yeah, Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen is what made that film work. Had a beautiful score as well. But yeah, it's a nice, different type of film from John Carpenter. He did not get to do a whole lot of movies like that, but that was a good one. The Dark Knight would not be on my list. I don't hate the film. I do think Heath Ledger does a good job, but Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman and Gary Oldman are great. I'm not a fan of Christian Bale's Batman voice. I hate that voice. I think it's goofy. I think it's annoying. I think it's shitty. I like the guy who plays Two-Face, Aaron Eckhart, but I think the effects look awful. The action scenes I didn't think were as impressive as some people made them out to be. I don't know, like I said, I don't hate the film, but it's not my favorite Batman film. But Heath Ledger does do a great job. Gladiator, I know it's funny that I know the sequel's coming out. I don't really care about Gladiator. It's not my kind of film. Russell Crowe, I remember doing a good job. I'm sure, yeah, I know it has some nice spectacle, but just not my kind of movie. It's just not. I guarantee you it's better than the sequel. Final Analysis, I don't know if I saw that. Wait a minute, this is 4.5, but this is 5, but Final Analysis is better? Wait a minute. I'm confused. So Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is 4.5, but Pulp Fiction is 5. Well, yeah, that'd be higher on the list. Okay. But then this is 4.5, but this is 5, but Final Analysis is better. I've done that before on Letterboxd. I've done that before where I put the list. I'm like, oh shit, I did rank it that way. So I know how that goes, so trust me, I know how that goes. It's fun to use Letterboxd. I've used this platform before. I have a account on this as well. So I know how that, yeah. It's fun to do lists like these and make them. Very cool. But I haven't seen Final Analysis. So Scream. Love Scream. Saw that on VHS back in the day. Was pleasantly surprised. Especially with the murder mystery aspect. The witty dialogue. Good cast. I really like Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard. So, great movie. Follow the Bride, honestly, I have not seen that film since it came out, so I don't remember anything about it. Bourne Identity, I don't like any of the Bourne Identity films. I think they're all the same movie, and I don't give a shit who Bourne is. I don't give a shit if he finds his identity or not. I hate the action scenes. I hate the shaky cam. I think the stories are boring as fuck. I never liked the Bourne Identity films. I know a lot of people like them. To me, they're a bit detriment to action films because of these films. We got so much of that shaky cam, quick cut, either shaky cam or quick cuts, or both. Those three things. One, the other, or both. We got so much of that in action films, and the Bourne Identity, I think, is a big culprit of that. Thank God we're getting away from that because I fucking hated that. So, fuck you, Bourne Identity, for that shit. Twister, I love. Classic. Bill Paxton, may rest in peace. Love Twister. Cape Fear, pretty decent remake. Robert De Niro is definitely going over the top, but yeah, I don't mind it. I would say it's okay. It's not a film I rewatch much, but it's okay. Boogie Nights, don't mind it for what it is. I don't really watch it much or stuff, but it does have a good cast. Burial's Cop, classic, love it. Eddie Murphy is amazing in it. I think it's hilarious. Great soundtrack. Judge Reinhold is wonderful. John Ashton, may rest in peace. He's great. It's just a great team they have on that. Probably still my favorite Beverly Hills Cop film is the first one. What was it? The one bit? You go fall for banana tailpipe. Hang out with this guy too long. You're supposed to say, "Hey man, have no banana, no tailpipe." Okay, this guy's changing you. It's just, give the cops those cops crap, you know. Actually, the way you say it was like, "You ain't falling for no banana tailpipe. You've been hanging with this guy too long. You're just supposed to, hey man, ain't falling no banana, no tailpipe." Hand the Rocks to Cradle, I haven't seen it forever. I think Ernie Hudson's in it. I remember not minding him. I do remember Rebecca De Mornay doing a good job in her role. But it's been a while since I've seen it. Tremors, I love. One of my favorites as well. It would be on my list. I think Tremors and Beverly Hills Cop, maybe Twister would be on my list. But I know Tremors, Beverly Hills Cop would. Absolutely. I agree with Tremors. Classic, love the cast. Val and Earl, two blue-collar, likable heroes. Great special effects by Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis. Love Tremors. Dumb and Dumber, very funny comedy. One of Jim Carrey's best. Definitely agree with that. Paris' heads are falling off. And like, even though they're dumb, there's a bit of endearing quality to it. Like when he's like sees the Man on the Moon newspaper. Wow, we landed on the moon. It didn't feel mean spirited. I thought the sequel felt more mean spirited. Romancing the Stone, didn't mind the film. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it for what it was. Ghost, great movie, beautiful love story. Rest in peace to Patrick Swayze. Whoopi Goldberg, before she went nuts, did a solid job in that movie. And before she went crazy on The View and shit. Which I hate The View. I hate them being on my damn feed all the damn time. But yeah, Ghost is a beautiful story. Big Demi Moore fan. One of my favorite love story movies is Ghost. Jacob's Ladder, all-time favorite. Why this does not have a special edition 4K with all the deleted scenes and a new document. This deserves like a second sight. What they did with Blair Witch Project, The Hitcher, Jacob's Ladder deserves that treatment. Tim Robbins deserved an Oscar nomination. Amazing movie. Amazing film, Jacob's Ladder. Point Break. I always get in trouble with people with this one. I never understood the appeal. I love Keanu Reeves. I don't think he does a good job in the movie. I like Patrick Swayze, but there's other films of his I like more. Roadhouse, Red Dawn, Ghost. Even Black Dog I like more. I don't give a shit about surfing. I don't think the action scenes are that great. I don't think any of them are that memorable. I think the ending sucks. Like, this guy got your partner Gary Busey killed and you just don't let him walk into the damn ocean. Fuck that. Shoot him in the face. I like the Fast and Furious more. I'll say it. The first Fast and Furious I like more than Point Break. I know it's like, oh, you love 90s action. You should love this. I don't. I always thought this was overrated. Easily thought this was overrated. I know no one agrees with me. Well, except my friend Affrey. He agrees with me, but We're like the only two people that don't like this film. I never understood the appeal for Point Break. Never did. I love 90s action. I love True Lies. I love the film Speed. I love The Matrix. Out for Justice, Above the Law. I mean, that's the 80s. Out for Justice, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill, Universal Soldier, Lionheart, Broken Arrow, The Rock, Bad Boys, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, Last Action Hero, Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, The Last Boy Scout, Shota Lo Tokyo, I Come in Peace. The list goes on 90s action films I love. Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Lethal Weapon 3 I like, but not Point Break. Flatliners, I reviewed that a few months ago. That's a good one, directed by Joe Schumacher. May he rest in peace. I think maybe it was a commentary I did. But that's a good one. It has some nice style to it. Misery is wonderful. Kathy Bates and James Caan do a wonderful job, especially Kathy Bates. Rob Reiner, one of his best before Rob Reiner lost his fucking mind. What is it? He went to a mental institution because he has Trump derangement syndrome? Like, really, dude? Jesus. But Misery's a good movie. Like, I mean, one of the better Stephen King adaptations. Especially, I mean, Kathy Bates does a fantastic job, but James Caan does a good job too. He kind of gets, like, people talk about Kathy Bates understandably, but James Caan was good as well. For a guy that most of the film, all he could do is be in the bed, he did a pretty capable job. So, Misery, very solid filmmaking. Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of my favorites as well. I know this is on my list. Same with Jacob's Ladder and Tremors. Love Indiana Jones, the first four, and love this movie. Wonderful adventure movie. Psycho I warmed up to. I like Psycho 2 more. I think the first half of this film is great. Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh. When Janet Leigh dies, and then he hides the car and stuff, the movie loses me because rest in peace to those actors, but was it Vera Miles? I didn't give a shit about those characters. And they're looking for Janet Leigh, and other than that shot with the investigator, where he's going up and that shot where he's falling backwards, he's getting stabbed. I like that shot. But other than that, just a kind of boring stuff until the end. But just the characters we're left with, I just don't give a rat's ass about. Which is funny because when they did the remake, I think it was like Julianne Moore and Viggo Mortensen. Like, those actors I like more. So it would be interesting if they did that damn remake. Take the first half of this film, replace the second half with the remake, but try to replace Vince Vaughn with Anthony Perkins. I mean, that would be interesting. Because even the remakes, like Robert Forster's at the end there. Yeah, but I wouldn't know how the hell you do all that. But yeah, the first half I don't mind. But there's other Hitchcock films I like more. The Birds I like more. Rear Window I like a lot more. So, again, the second half, just that the actors in the second half are not as good as Janet Leigh or Anthony Perkins. Training Day I don't mind. That's where Denzel won the Oscar. Matrix I saw in the theater. Classic. I like all three of them. The fourth one doesn't exist. Never been a Lord of the Rings fan. I'm sorry for people out there. I could never get into it. I always found them very boring. Goodfellas I love. I think that's a great Scorsese movie. Perhaps my favorite Scorsese film. That's a long movie, but I find that much more fascinating. With the cast, the way they talked with each other, the camera work, and the one shot in the beginning, and the way it keeps the pace up of the business, what they're doing. There's some funny moments. There's great memorable moments. You think I'm funny? Yeah. by Joe Pesci. Great movie, Goodfellas. Jurassic Park, can't complain about that. Be on the list. Great special effects, good cast. Forrest Gump. I know a lot of people hate Forrest Gump nowadays. It seems like nowadays people just shit on Forrest Gump. I always liked, I always liked the movie. Haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember liking the film. I thought the way they implemented special effects with Tom Hanks being in older newsreels and being a part of history, I thought that was very ambitious. I need to pee. And then having John F. Kennedy, boy says he needs to pee. Which, I mean, again, pretty ambitious for its time. And then, yeah, like Gary Sinise, and I thought Tom Hanks did a really good job in the film. So, Jenny. I always remember at the end when he finds out he's got a kid, it's like, is he smart? Like he's afraid that the kid will be like him. I thought that was kind of a very sad, endearing but sad moment. Like he knows how he is up here and he's hoping no one else is like that. I thought, oh, that always stuck with me. But, yeah, again, a lot of people hate it. I think one of the reasons because it beat out the Shawshank Redemption and Pulp Fiction at the time of for the Best Picture Oscar. And people are like, what? Because they were preferred. Probably nowadays most people say Pulp Fiction. For me, I probably would say Shawshank Redemption. I thought Forrest Gump was good. The Fugitive, I love. Great movie. Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic in that. But definitely one of my favorite non-Indiana Jones films. Well, the fifth one sucks, but non-Indiana. If you take out Indiana Jones, any of his first four movies, and asked me what some of my favorite Harrison Ford films are, Fugitive would definitely be quite up there. From the same director who did Above the Law with Steven Seagal and Code of Silence with Chuck Norris. And then he later did Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dead Post Society, I didn't mind for what it was. Robin Williams was good. I liked the ending of the film. Oh, Captain, My Captain. That was a very sweet ending. Pump Up the Volume, I know I've seen, but I don't remember a thing about it. A Few Good Men. Jack Nicholson, I know he's not in the film a whole lot, but when he's in it, that ending, very, memorable. You can't handle the truth. But yeah, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak. I think Kevin Bacon's in it. It's got a solid cast. And not a bad movie at all. It felt a bit long in the tooth. But yeah, not a bad film at all. I know they pretty much ripped it off for that TV show Jag. Because that's really what it is. It's just A Few Good Men, the TV show. They just don't call it A Few Good Men. So Jag, but I haven't seen it in a while. Lethal Weapon 2 I do like. I do prefer the first and the third one. Joe Pesci is a great addition. I think with this, it's just the tone is a bit off for me at times because it has very funny, goofy comedy with Joe Pesci. They fucked you at the job, you. First they did you, then they fucked you. Or when they go to the consulate and it's like, but you're black. It's like, so there's very funny stuff, but then at the same time there's very dark stuff, like, oh, their cop buddies getting murdered one by one, or finding out that this guy killed Mel Gibson's wife and then kills his new girlfriend and finds her all drowned and shit, which is ballsy, I'll give you that. But it's just one of those scenes that's you see like the opening where it's like, oh, they're cheering and Mel Gibson's hitting the roof, and then you see like just how things is like. I thought it was a bit uneven for me, but I still liked the film. I just thought Lethal Weapon 1 and Lethal Weapon 3, for what tones they picked, I thought they were more consistent in their separate tones for me. But I do like Lethal Weapon 2. Die Hard is an absolute classic. What more can be said? I could watch that film anytime, any day, and I just adore it. Love Die Hard. The Goonies is a classic, I agree. Titanic, I do not like Titanic. I can appreciate its technical aspects. I do appreciate that. But I just don't give a shit about the love story. And I don't, it's 3 hours until the boat sinks. Well, technically, like the last hour is the boat sinking, really. So, I don't care about the love story. I don't care about the story in itself. Good technical aspects. Yeah. Just not a film. You know what was funny? Who the fuck talks about Titanic nowadays? The movie. You don't hear a fucking person talk about that movie. Well, I mean, obviously you do, but I just mean like the ether of the pop culture. Do you hear anyone talk about Titanic? No. But it was the high success, grossing film of all time. But I never hear anyone fucking talking about the movie. Anyway. Even with like Leonardo DiCaprio, it's like you almost have to, oh yeah, he was in Titanic. Kind of one of those things, because now he's like, there's The Revenant and Inception, and he was worked with Tarantino, Django Unchained, and stuff of that nature. Scorsese, the stuff he's done with him. So, which a lot of that I like more than Titanic. Karate Kid, the original. My favorite is Karate Kid Part 2, but the first one is good. Can't complain about that. Mr. Miyagi and Ralph Macchio. Pat Morita, Ralph Macchio. Can't complain about Karate Kid. Fatal Attraction, don't mind the film. I don't love it as much as Bart does, but I do like the film. I think, I'm not going to be ignored. She does a wonderful job, Glenn Close. I like the original Star Wars. It's still my favorite of all of them, is the first one, the original one. I'd probably say I'm more a fan of the early Star Trek movies than Star Wars, but I do like the original Star Wars. Back to the Future is a classic. Can't complain about that. What more could be said about it? Michael J. Fox is so sad what happened to his health. It's always a shame to see him shaking like that. But I mean, with that and the sequel and The Frighteners and even films like Greedy, The Hard Way, liked a lot of his films back in the day. And very talented guy. Interesting story. You meeting your parents when they were in high school. And the ups and downs that could happen because of that. It's a sci-fi movie with not a lot of special effects in it. Other than the DeLorean stuff, which is cool. Christopher Lloyd, great asset for that film. Even Biff Tannen. Thomas F. Wilson, great villain for the movie. Crispin Glover worked well as the dad. He was quirky enough to make it all work. Great soundtrack and score, but Alan Silvestri's score, the theme is wonderful. Pretty Woman. I'll be honest, I haven't seen that film probably since it came out, so. And those two got together again for Runaway Bride. But yes, I know Pretty Woman was a huge hit when it came out. And I don't remember. I remember the bit where like there's someone has a box, she goes for it, and he's like, haha, and almost snaps her fingers, and she's like, ha, laughing. That's like all I remember about the movie. Unforgiven, I would say I prefer westerns, Tombstone, Young Guns, High Plains Drifter. But I mean, Unforgiven's a good one. Can't really complain about that. You know, Eastwood's swan song for westerns, honestly. I kind of, how harsh the reality of that would be. You know, a guy who is a killer, who wants to be a simple farm man and live his life and with his kids, but kind of shows how tough it could be and just how the whimsicalness of the West is kind of a facade and a fraud. It could be much more of a harsh reality. And how even at the end when he's with Gene Hammond, pretty much, yeah, I'm a bad guy as well, and I'm not, you know, he's not a good guy, but it don't matter to Gene Hammond, don't be a dead guy. But this is it. Good cast. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, not a bad film at all. The Abyss. Cool to see it high on the list. I always like The Abyss. I actually prefer the theatrical cut, but I thought that was a good love story. I think the special effects and the way they shot it is insane, and they would not do that nowadays. The way they worked with underwater is very ambitious, very dangerous. And I thought the love story between the two with Ed Harris and the Mary, I always get confused. This Mary Stuart Masterson and then Mary Mastrantonio. I always get confused. Well, let me just click on it. I'll know in a minute. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. There you go. And Michael Biehn is great as the villain. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, that's my rating. 4. Yeah, I put it 4 stars. Just like I said, I forgot. Yeah, when you click on it, it's your rate. That's my rating. 4. Because I like the film. Yeah, I quite like the film. I don't have a lot of issues with the movie. I mean, the director's cut, I'm not big on because, I mean, I liked it still, but I would say really, like, I don't mind the new additions, except, well, it depends. It's trying to get into the end. I don't like the ending of the extended cut, where it's the big tidal wave and it's pretty much a word of warning, like, shape up or we're going to destroy all your use the ocean to destroy you all. It's doing the day there stood still type of thing, and I get that, but I don't know, I just prefer the simplicity of there's something under there who are kind of, just trying to take it easy, be left alone, and you have kind of these two warring factions of humans, the military Michael Biehn portion, the Ed Harris Barry, their portion, and one wants to destroy it, one wants to protect it, and then at the end, the aliens just see, this one tried to meet us and misses that one. Okay, we're gonna get you back home. Just that simplicity just was more, I don't know, more palatable for me. Maybe more sweeter. People go, what was the fucking point? The point was first contact with an alien species. Like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's like saying, what's the fucking point? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. For the same fucking reason. What are you talking about? I don't know. Because they raise the whole thing at the end, and there's the alien ship. So you think, okay, you know, well, actually, or they just. I'm trying to think of the end. It's been a while since I'm trying to remember. I know they raised their ship, but wasn't also the alien ship as well? I can't remember. Think. I can't. It's been a while since I've seen it, but like I said, I like to. I like a mix of the two, like the extended cut of the Abyss, but without the lecturing ending. But anyway, but other than that, I really do like the Abyss. Terminator 2. You know, a lot of people talk about T2. It is a good movie. I do prefer the first Terminator. Terminator. I like the horror, gritty feel of it more so than T2. But T2 is a good one. T2 is a good one. Robert Patrick, great as T1000. Sounds of Lambs. I actually did a commentary for that not too long ago. Still good. Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, Ted Levine are solid in it. The ending is a bit weird because, okay, I like the idea that you see the point of view of him with the night vision goggles. But what I don't like is when you see the reverse, there's so much light, including some light that is shining on Ted Levine's face, that I'm sitting there going, how the fuck is Jodie Foster not seeing this? Like, we see that his face with the goggles on, we see light. So now you think, well, why isn't she seeing this? I would prefer to have just seen his point of view of night vision goggles the whole time. I think that could have worked just fine, but because then it doesn't sell really the darkness that she can't see, like when he's right here. It's like that's just one of the little nitpicks I had with the film. Watch it again, but I do like it. It's got a good cast, especially the scenes between Anthony and Jodie Foster's characters. So, you know, good one. And then you got Braveheart. Don't mind Braveheart. Again, I like it more than Gladiator, but it's just not the type of film I rewatch much. It's not my kind of movie. But at the same time, it is well made. It is very fucking brutal, very fucking bloody, and I can appreciate what Mel Gibson did with that film. Again, it's not a film I rewatch a whole lot, but I definitely appreciate its what it brought to the table in terms of expertise in filmmaking, the way the battles are constructed. Again, just how fucking bloody and brutal it is. Mel Gibson definitely doesn't hold back on that, just like he didn't in the Hacksaw Ridge. So I give credit to that. Well, I guess he didn't hold back Passion of the Christ as well, but I wish he did on that one. But it is what it is. But yeah, not a bad list. I mean, a lot of classics here. And this is from Honest Abe Reviews. If I think a movie sucks, then we'll tell you it sucks. Hey, I understand. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. So, I like the movie more than he did on Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Just curious. Hated Joker 2. You like Beetlejuice 2. Teach their own. You like Alien Romulus. Teach their own. Trap 4 stars. Teach their own. Lawless 4 stars. Teach their own. So yeah, I did like Love Lies Bleeding. I did like that film. Beekeeper I liked more than him. I did like Thanksgiving. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 stars. Wait, come on, dude. You gave Expendables 4 3.5 stars. What? Come on. You know what I gave it? How the fuck? I gave it that. How did I give it 1 star? I just because I was thinking half stars like has to be the worst films of all time. And then if it's not, then I gave it 1 star. Although it's fucking horrible. But I mean, like Feeders 2, I kind of leave for the half-star thing. I'll get back to that, but teach their own. I say that in all truthfulness. Listen, we're not all going to like to, hate the same movie. But I could definitely say we disagree on quite a bit of stuff. I hated John Wick 4. He liked it. We liked this one. I fucking hate Indiana Jones 5. Did not like Equalizer 3. Last Voyage of the Meteor I thought was boring as shit. Hated Expendables 4. Did not like Godzilla New Empire. Did not like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Godzilla... fucking Empire shit. I did like Little Boys Bleeding. Beekeeper I liked more. Thanksgiving I liked... Yeah, I did not like Five Nights at Freddy's. I did like Maxine. I did like that. A lot of people hated that film. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we're not all going to agree on the same movies. So, nothing wrong with that. I disagree. But on the flip side, look at this. A lot of stuff I agree with on here. So, that's the thing. We may disagree on stuff, but there's always going to be stuff we agree on. I agree on, many of these films. Back to the Future and The Abyss and Die Hard and Fugitive and Matrix and Jacob's Ladder and Tremors, Twister. Cool to see a lot of these. Starman, Beverly Hills Cop. A lot of cool stuff to have on the list. So, I wonder if there's a list. Worst movie endings? Just curious to see what this is. I agree with that. I don't mind that film. Yeah, I barely remember this fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a piece of shit. That is a piece of shit. That is a piece of shit. I don't mind this film for what it is, but I like the first two more. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I disagree. Well, Conan Destroyer 3.5 stars. So, can't be that bad if it's 3.5 stars. I do like Conan Destroyer quite a bit. I like Elm Street 2. Wait Your Burgers 2 I definitely agree with. Jesus. Definitely agree with that. Go let try to watch Halloween. Watch Home Alone 5 and Home Alone Home Sweet Home. You want to see even worse. I didn't see that. I might fuck it. But yeah, definitely agree with Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Yeah, Jaws the Revenge. Yeah. Definitely agree with that stuff. Up in the Aliens. Yeah, of course. Hey, cool stuff on here. Aliens, Blade 2, Die Hard 2. Very cool. Hey, Aliens, Blade 2, Die Hard 2. That's pretty cool. So I know you didn't ask for it, but I figured just a little bit, just looking extra. So like I said, we're all going to have different lists. Like my list is different. But again, we're not all going to have the same list. Like my list is going to be different from his. So, but we do have Tremors. We do have Jacob's Ladder. We got Die Hard. So we have some, three. But hey, it's still three. So let's just be looking through my list. But yeah. But thank you, Bart, for the request. I should have asked if you wanted Bart or Odysee reviews, so I apologize in advance. I didn't want my fucking name out there. I apologize, but again, very cool list. So again, this one I haven't seen, or if I did, I don't remember anything. I might have seen that. I don't remember anything about it. Now that I think about it, maybe I did see it, but I don't. I don't remember anything about it. So I must not have liked it that much. Come on, Karate Kid, Back to the Future, the best. Kind of hard to go wrong. Can't really go wrong with those type of choices. So pretty cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.